Hi, everybody. It's 5 o'clock on Friday. Today is a holy day because today is the Queen's birthday, Mary J. Blige. So all respect to the Queen. I'm sure we'll be talking about Monet a lot today. So I'm very excited about that. And we have a lot of questions today. So we have, tons and tons and tons of questions. Of course, as usual, please bring in, oh, hello from the UK. Please, you hit me with questions on the bottom, in your comments. And then also let's definitely hit some of these that you guys have submitted. Okay, so I am gonna get started. Oh, hi Spencer. I'm gonna get started with a couple of things and some really good questions that I have here. Mr. Hicks asks, will there come a time when Tariq truly trusts Sax? I don't think so. And that is mostly because, do you trust Sax? You guys are watching. Is Sax worth trusting? I'm not sure. I love Shane. Shane Johnson is a very different person from Sax. Love him. And Shane is definitely trustworthy. I'm not so sure about Sax. And Tariq, he's still trying to figure out who he can trust. So, there we have it. Someone said, okay, Glam Beat, I really love that you're doing this because I missed your after the show sessions. I missed them too. I was really happy that you guys got to watch sort of some of the behind the scenes. But the other thing that's kind of cool about doing it this way is that I get the questions direct from you, which is actually better. I'm actually really excited about that part and having some back and forth. Born Ready 1993. Why didn't Lorenzo know who Zeke was at the party? Okay, this is a great question, and I know a lot of people are asking that. So Lorenzo is aware of that Zeke exists, but they haven't met in person because Zeke actually moved to New York after, for high school. So Lorenzo was inside. So they actually haven't really met or really talked to each other, and that's part of it. Okay. Gumby_licious, while we were talking about Sax, says, Sax needs to stay in his place and be Tariq's lawyer instead of trying to keep him locked up. So one of the things that we're kind of exploring is that Sax hasn't fully gotten himself all the way out of being a prosecutor yet. He's still thinking like a prosecutor, so he's still thinking like the truth is what matters. And what Davis is trying to tell him over and over and over again is the truth is not what matters. What matters is defending our client and also making money. And those two things aren't mutually exclusive, but as you guys know, Davis is about his money, all the time. Something like cream, dollar bills, y'all. Something like that. You know what I'm saying. Okay. But Sax stuff, amazing. By the way, I do love that you guys really loved this episode. This episode was written by Andre Ferguson, Ferg Meets World, for those of you who are trying to find him on Instagram. And he is an amazing writer. He's been with us for many, many years. Okay. Deleted account asks, great. Deleted account asks, how do you develop new conflicts without losing the audience? Well, here's the thing. For me, I will just say you can't control who watches your show. A lot of people think it's like you can just get people to watch or whatever. You can't get people to watch. People will turn off or they will turn on and you get lucky or you don't. I'm very much not in the results business, meaning I'm not trying to make the show to make people watch. I'm trying to make the best show I can. Hopefully people watch it because they're enjoying it, but you have to have that humility. You know what I mean? You can't reach down like your God and make somebody turn on their television or boot up their iPad. So in terms of developing new conflict, well, basically you put your characters in situations where everybody's right or everybody's stuck. I think one of the great things about Woody McClain as Kane is that you can always see, no matter how strong Kane's position is, that he's always in some sort of pain. He's always still trying to get his parents' approval because he can only be what he is, And I think this is something that's really relatable. That's what you want to do, is try to make your characters relatable. Okay, Obi-Wan Kenovic 19 asks, why does Tariq trust Effie all of a sudden? Well, now this is a really good question. You guys are asking really good questions today. These questions are so good. Here's the thing. He doesn't have anybody else. I think we dramatized in episode 6 that Tasha's gone. Because if Tasha were still around, would he trust Effie? Probably not, because Tasha would be saying to him, stay away from that girl, right? If he could fully trust Brayden, he comes to that at the end of the episode, but only because of Effie. But he really doesn't feel like he has anyone. Lauren has turned her back on him. So, it's like he's almost without options. And any port in a storm. Let's see. Okay. Keish asks, can you do a masterclass in writing for television? I would love to do that. Years ago, I tried to get on masterclass. They were not interested, but maybe I'll try again. Jerome asks, does the West End have more pull at Stansfield than Simon Stern? Yes, they do. But Simon is on the board. He's like one of the people who's actually on the university board. The Westons are just, they're just like big donors, big alums. Okay. All right. So I need to ask you guys, stop asking me if Ghost is coming back. Just stop asking. It's like, I'm almost as like, well, what am I supposed to, if that were happening, let's say that were happening, would I tell you? After all these years, don't y'all know me at all? Why would I tell anybody? But I appreciate you. I appreciate you guys watching. Okay. Okay. People still yelling at me about Ghost being dead. It is what it is. Why did Monet claim Zeke as her nephew? That's Dev Banks instead of her son. Well, I don't believe she wanted Lorenzo to know that she had a child by a previous relationship. She was keeping that secret, as she still is now that he's home. Okay. Fred Macabo Noir asks, is 50 Cent the guardian angel? I think you mean guardian angel, and what I would say is not really. He's a hallucination of Tariq's. Like, his guilt about killing Kanan is still in there, and so it's bringing Kanan forth as kind of a father figure. But he's not appearing of his own accord. I feel like your guardian angel appears of its own accord to show up and help you. Kanan is more like when Tariq is really under stress, Kanan pops up in his mind as like a guiding voice. It's almost as though you would think that like Tariq's inner guiding voice would be Ghost or Tommy, but it's guilt. He has a lot of guilt over the Kanan kill. Remember, he was younger when he killed Kanan also, or when he got Kanan killed, I should say. Okay. Let's see. I am Shea Blanca. Where is the cheesecake Monet was supposed to get but never came back? Okay, so listen, I am Shea Blanco. I want to tell you, you're watching very carefully. I want to give you your props. I want to give you your flowers for watching that. I don't remember if we saw her come back that night or not, but I assume she probably messed up. I wonder if Lorenzo noticed that. I am dope by natural. Will Lauren get Professor Milgram back for playing her? You have to keep watching. How many of you, just show me by likes, want Professor Milgram to get what she deserves? I'm just curious. Like, how many of you are like really waiting for Carrie to get what she deserves? She's been playing everybody. Ooh, it's a lot of you. Wow. Okay. Bree Money asks, who does Zeke think his parents are? Great question. So Zeke has, Monet has a sister, Lena, who you will meet in season 3. I have a specific actress. I really want to play that, but I'm not going to say yet because we don't have her under contract. And that's going to be a lot of Brett Mahoney's call as well. But this particular idea is that Lena raised Zeke as her own. So she's going to have a lot of feelings about what's been happening with Zeke. And Zeke does believe that his dad, if you guys remember from earlier in this season, he's been told that his father is in jail. Okay. What can we expect from Diana and Tariq's relationship moving forward? Stay tuned. I'm not going to tell you anything. Let's see. Lala Vuitton, I just answered that. Where was Zeke? Is it Monet's mom? Did she put him in adoption or something? He was raised by another family member, which happens to people all the time. I have my own stories in my own family about people who were raised by different people. So, okay. Let's see. She loves Bennett. How can Renzo peeps Drew's interest in the man but can't see Monet as distant? Okay, so Lorenzo is lying to himself a little bit about Monet's behavior. I don't know if you guys heard in episode 6, but there's a moment that we actually showed where Monet is like, why isn't she happy that you're home? Diana asks him, why isn't she happy? And he says, oh, she's just trying to get used to it. It's been a long 10 years. Like, he's telling himself things. Lorenzo's coming in a little bit arrogant, if you guys have noticed. Like, he's coming in a little bit hot. And so he's not really listening to or paying attention to the things that he's not paying attention to. What he's really paying attention to is Drew. Okay. Let's see. Accounting Tony V. Can Tariq trust Effie and Brayden? You know I'm not going to answer that. Would you trust them if you were he? I don't know. Okay. Sarah627. What side does Sax want to work for? It seems unclear. It seems unclear in his mind. Remember, also, the other thing that's kind of pushing him is that he's got feelings for Jenny. That's also confusing. Let's see. Okay. Are there more GTG members we haven't seen yet from Ty Gums? Yes. Okay. Pretty Priscilla asks, does Sax use what he hears in Lauren's convo to help Tariq? Well, I can't tell you that, but what I can say is that he definitely heard what he heard, and you heard him hear it, and we showed him hearing it, so you know us, we don't do anything by mistake, or we try not to. Okay. Okay, let's see. Okay, I'm trying to see if... Woolrika71, why did Effie ask how close will she be working with Kane? This is a great question. In the actual scene, she says to Tariq, oh, I'm just worried about you. Do you feel like that's what she's worried about? I'm just asking you guys, is that what she's worried about? I don't know. I think this all plays into the area of, can you trust Effie? And I want you guys to, again, keep watching. But those of you who are asking the question are asking a very good question. Because what have we showed about Effie? Effie and Tariq are similar sides of the coin. I've always said this. Diana's too hot, Lauren is too cold, Effie is just right. There's a lot about Effie that's just right for Tariq, but the problem with that is that if she's just like Tariq, can Tariq be trusted? You guys should always be asking that question. Can Tariq be trusted? I think that's a really important point, because if Effie and Tariq are similar, they might have their own agenda. Remember, Effie's always out for number one. Saya, I can't actually read. See ya there, a gig? I don't know. See ya there, IG. Effie is gangsta. Wish we could see her backstory. I love how she thinks. Stay tuned for season 3. Luckily enough, season 3 was picked up, so you're going to hear a lot more about her as we get into season 3. Let's see. Okay. AR_0811. Would Ghost have actually helped Tariq while in prison in season 6 of Power? Well, Tariq didn't trust that. Okay, that's a really good question. Tariq did not trust that his father would have helped him. I mean, if you look back, would that have been good for Tariq to take responsibility for killing Ray Ray? Would that have been the best thing for Tariq to do? I mean, I think that's a really good question. Is Tariq better off now than he would have been had he done what his father wanted? It's hard to know. You know what I mean? I don't know whether they would have put him in jail. He would have been admitting killing a cop, a dirty cop who had murdered his sister, but still a cop altogether. Let's see. Okay. Baby J762, is Tariq never going to mention anything he's been through in the original Power? It's like since this show, nothing else happened besides him killing Ghost. That's actually not true. If you go back to episode 1, season 2, episode 1, so this season, he talks to Lauren about all the different people in his life who have been killed and who he's lost. He talks about Lakeisha, he talks about his mom, he talks about Raina. So it's actually not true what you're saying. I think, though, it is really quick. The other thing about Tariq is that he's really closed off. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but obviously we're putting some pieces of Ghost's personality into Tariq. And so, Tariq is really closed off, just like his dad. He's not sharing with everybody. If you go all the way back to season 1, Carrie makes that point over and over and over again, that he won't share with her. He won't tell her what's going on with him. From Tamika says, is Zeke the oldest of Monet's kids? Yes, he is. I am Avion. Are Lauren and Tariq over for good? You have to stay tuned. Why would I tell you that? Let's see. Thank you, Stacey Pricey, about my eyeshadow. I appreciate that. It's Urban Decay. Let's see. I answered that. I answered about Zeke. Whew. All right. Okay. All I'm saying is the streets need a body. Carrie's got to go. All right, we talked about that. That's for sure. A very good question from NaBLJ1. Will we see any previous Power characters return by the end of this season? The answer is yes. That will be, hi Shane, that will be really hot. You guys feel free to, in the comments for this, feel free to speculate on which characters you may see before the end of the season. Let's see. Lizio890_, will Tariq ever find out that it was Lauren's wire and her Rolly that convicted him to prison? Well, She was part of the problem. Yeah, he's going to find out some things. Kanan actually told him, I don't know if you guys noticed that Kanan said it's the people that you love. It'd be your own kids, right? It'd be your own kids. Rain Knight 2 asks a great question. Was it ever Monet's intention to have her children in the game? Or did it happen because Lorenzo went to jail? She didn't seem happy with Lorenzo wanting them to work for him. Okay, so this is interesting, right? What we're trying to dramatize is basically Monet was his protege. Lorenzo taught Monet the game. But since he's been gone, she's been running things. And Monet likes to run things a certain way. She's actually toughened up. And I think this is something that happens to a lot of women when they become single. She wasn't technically single, right? But she was by herself. She sort of toughened up and started taking on kind of a masculine, feminine hybrid role, being a kind of head of the family. And so if you see it, it's actually dramatized. We really had them say it out loud in the scene at the table after the kids leave when Lorenzo says, I was always the head of the family. And she's like, yeah, but we used to talk about things and make decisions. And he's like, yeah, when I was inside. I'm not inside anymore. And she's like, yeah, but I'm still here. I was still running things. He's like, yeah, later for that. Enjoy your retirement. Damn. And here's the thing, though. That is what she would have wanted because that's probably how things were. But she's changed. She grew up. As for the kids being involved, she involved the kids, and maybe she had to back in the day, but now, everybody has to be on board. Tony Montana, Lauren did not turn her back on him. She's just confused on what to believe 100%. Lizzie Mustang, will we see Tasha again? Well, she's shooting Queens, but, I won't say no. Okay. Stan call _2. Is there a parallel between Kanan, Tariq, and Ghost and Kanan? That is such a good question. I would say that, yeah, there is. I'm not intentionally, but I think you could draw those conclusions that like Kane is a little bit more like Kanan in that way. He's not named that for that reason. I know a lot of people ask me that. It's not that. It's actually more that Kanan is a little bit more brutal than Ghost is, and Kane is more brutal than Tariq is, but there isn't that relationship, that love relationship that there was between Kanan and Ghost. So Kanan and Ghost loved each other as kids. They were very close friends. They had a brotherhood. That's a different thing. So it's not exactly analogous. People keep asking, like, people will do a lot of these things like Ghost is Tariq and Braden is Tommy and all that. That's not really it. I know you guys, it's easy to do that, but it really isn't, because when you dig into the relationships past the cosmetic, it's not really there. Tommy is not privileged. Tommy is not in the game because he feels like being in the game, which is what Braden's story is. They're just different stories. Okay. Okay. I'm not sure if I missed this, but how does Monet not know Mecca is the plug? Because she's not watching the TV show you're watching. Remember, Monet's only in her scenes, and she only knows that the plug is someone named Mecca. She's had no actual contact with him because it was Mecca's rule that only Kane could talk to him. So how could she possibly know? Kay Spenel, do Mecca and Lorenzo know each other? Stay tuned. Devontae Huntley, too. Why wouldn't she want him to know about a previous child? You'll have to wait and find out. Sometimes people say things about being a virgin. I don't know. Sometimes people say things. Sometimes people lie. Okay. Let's see. Okay. She loves Bennett. I noticed Monet assumed Effie was putting it down on Reek. She told Diana this first season, does she sleep her way to the top? Because Effie be the daughter that she always wanted. Well, I think that there's a lot of more similarities in behavior between Effie and Monet than there are between Monet and Diana. But Diana is her daughter, and we're going to see more and more and more and more like that. BSK's Camellia EXO sounds a lot like RSK's. Was that on purpose? Yeah, a little bit, because it's all queens, so, a little bit. Mohammed72, is your real name Courtney? Why would I use a fake name? That seems weird. What other name would I use? It's just a very strange question. Let's see. Leo Gal 86, is the necklace that Kane gave Lorenzo from the robbery? No, I'm sorry. It's not. No, there's nothing weird happening there. Okay. Thank you for all the compliments. I really appreciate that. I'm Willie Perry. Carrie is kind of fighting the good fight, but this episode made me want her got. I love that. That was beautifully well written. Okay. Uh, There's a question about a crossover between Power Book 2 Ghost and Stars' Hightown. That's probably not going to happen. If there are crossovers, there's going to be within the Power universe. That's where the crossovers would be. Okay. Am I going to do post-episode Power Extra? No, they did not ask me to do that this year, so I will not be doing that. Okay. Tyler said it. Why was Tariq still using Lauren's brother's apartment? I mean, he should have left, but he didn't leave. He didn't leave right away. Okay. Will Tariq get a car? You guys are so funny. Kay Palmer, I think you're related to Professor Milgram. No, that would be really lovely if I were related to Melanie Liburd, but I am not. Okay, let's see. Let's look more for questions. Dane KB, will Lauren use her knowledge of Carrie and Zeke's affair as some type of leverage? Wouldn't you? I would if I were Lauren. Okay. Where is Claynem asks, is Effie playing Tariq or she generally wants to help? I think the thing is, and someone taught me this actually a few years ago, I was in this situation. This is not anybody that you guys knew about. So I want to be really clear. This is not someone I was dating publicly. I was in a situation and, got situationship. And someone said to me, a person can love you and manipulate you at the same time. They're not mutually exclusive. And I thought that was so brilliant. And I think that's what we're talking about when we're looking at Effie. Effie is someone who really cares about Tariq and has her own agenda and might be manipulating him and might hurt him and might show up for him. And it's really complicated. Do you know what I mean? It's a very complicated thing. Daytan Pearls, that contractor redid the bar window super fast. RIP him though. That is so funny. I love you so much. You're amazing. Amazing, amazing, amazing. Okay. Rebecca.Candle, why aren't there flashbacks? We do use flashbacks a little bit, but we only use flashbacks you guys have already seen. That's a style choice, a preference of mine. I find that flashbacks are really an easy way of telling story. And for this show, I kind of set myself a bar that we wouldn't use them, but I might use them in other things, just like we don't have voiceover. Okay. Hi, Corey. Let's see. Tariq just like Ghost. The Greatest. Why are these shows not on Netflix? Because they're on the Stars app. Okay. Let's see. Nitrata Bunny. Will Drew find out how his mother treated his boo thing? I love how you wrote that. I love how many great writers there are among us. When is season 3 coming? Someone asked me. I mean, we're still airing too. Damn. Okay. But anyway, yeah, soon. As soon as we can shoot it, honestly, production's been a little bit delayed because of the COVID surge in New York. Those of you who are New Yorkers, it's crazy. It's crazy right now. So I actually don't live in New York full time. I'm actually not there yet. But yeah, it's tough. Okay. Will Drew find out his mother treated Everett? There's going to be repercussions. Let's see. Sean Will, how do I feel about people always defending Tariq's actions but always hold Ghost accountable for all his actions? I actually think it's the other way around. I feel like people used to hate on Tariq all the time and let Ghost off the hook for all the things that he did. If you guys ever hear an interview with 50, when he's talking about Ghost, he always says he's a serial killer, which is true. But I think one of the things is structurally, and this is for the writers, this is not for, if you're not a writer, pay attention or not. But for writers, structurally, when you put someone at the center of your show and that person is number one on the call sheet and they are the lead, you teach your audience to follow them. You teach your audience to kind of invest in their journey. So our first season of Ghost, it was so much about getting the audience to invest in Tariq's journey. And that was because he loved his mom, which is probably the most universal thing that can happen. He loved his mother. He wanted what was best for Tasha. This season, he wants what's best for his sister, and he's trying to juggle a lot of different things, which we all feel. And so that's kind of how it is. I don't think people hold Ghost accountable for a lot of things he did. I think that people let him off the hook. I mean, baseline for cheating on his wife. I mean, let's start. But it's okay. You know what I mean? I think it all works out in the wash. But no, I don't get angry about that at all. I don't get angry about anything. Can you imagine getting angry that there are fans of your television show? I mean, where's the gratitude in that? Okay, let's see. Sky Quinn asks, will Brayden and Tariq have a better relationship now that Tariq has laid out info? I think I'm going to say yes. Jenny Jenks asked, do I ever get writer's block? It was interesting. Shonda Rhimes just did a little post about writer's block and how there wasn't anything such thing. And like, she was saying, you know, just go and write. There is no such thing as writer's block. What I would say is, I think that it's like, she's not wrong. My approach is slightly different, which is if there's something in between you and the writing you need to do, there's something you have to write first. That might just be a journal entry. That might be a letter. It might be a text. It might be an email. There's something on your heart that is like getting in the way of what you need to do as a writer. So if you're writing at home and you're like, I don't want to watch that. I don't want to write that next scene or whatever. There's something that's getting in the way and you have to write that. Let's see. Okay. That one guy, P, is Tommy going to revenge Ghost? If you're asking about Tariq, if you guys remember, Ghost asked, as kind of his last act on Earth, Ghost asked Tommy not to shoot Tariq. If you remember that, go back to episode 615 and you can watch it and you can see. So Tommy is going to hold true to his word to Ghost. That's what's most important to him. That's one of the reasons that Tariq, you know, if you look at like sort of Tariq's behavior and all this stuff, like he has that moment, he sees Ghost stop Tommy from shooting him, and he has some feelings around that. So that's I think that's very important. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Mike Mula 240. Why didn't we see Reek more in jail? He got released from prison too quick. It's interesting. I just was watching Mark Dark TV's recap on YouTube. I do watch recaps, you guys, if you guys do them. I do try to watch some of them because it's so important what the fans think. That story about Tariq being inside is not the important story. As you go through the rest of the season, you'll see what becomes more important. But also just to be really, I mean, again, writer's thing. To introduce new characters at that point in the season doesn't really make sense. If you guys remember the way that Ghost, because Mark Dark made the point about seeing Tariq's interactions inside. Ghost, again, had federal charges. It was a different situation altogether, but Ghost went into prison. He went into holding, or was being held from the beginning of this season. So that's when you would introduce new characters. What you guys are talking about would have required us to introduce new characters in the middle of the season when there's so much going on. I mean, shit is so hot. And I think you really want to be, and again, this is a structural thing, just telling you guys how it is on the inside of a writer's room. At this point in the season, you really want to be half Tariq's story and half Monet, Lorenzo, Tejada's, right? You really don't want other stuff going on. So there you go. Wow. Keontae 13, you watch carefully and I love you. Do you think the Milan death from Power 310 would come to bite Tommy on Power Book 4 Force with the Serbs are in Chicago? You are on point. On point, sir. Not necessarily exactly what's going to happen, but definitely something like you're thinking and you're paying attention, and I love that. Some I love 28 asks, who's older between Zeke and Kane? Zeke. Why did Tricks 1920? Why did Lorenzo pick Drew instead of Kane for the business? He explains that to Monet in the episode. Okay, let's see. Shade of Brat, why y'all give us 2 episodes for waiting so long? You know that's not up to me. Don't ask me. Okay. Shaw Ray Lorenz 87. What's Mecca's MO with meeting Lorenzo? I need answers, Courtney. Okay, I will give answers. Here's the deal. What did Monet say in this episode? She said, "We're done. I'm shutting it down. You're not gonna meet Tariq. None of these things are gonna happen. I'm not doing any of that. I mean, not Tariq, Zeke. You're not gonna meet Zeke. I'm Xing you out. The thing is over between us." Now, did you guys really think Mecca was gonna let that be over? Absolutely not. He's not feeling that. So now he's going to get at Monet any way he can. And he's got 2 open targets. He's got Zeke and he's got Lorenzo. Okay. That LA Reek love, was Tariq Lawrence first? Because if he was, it's going to be hard for her to get over him. No, she had a boyfriend first season, Malcolm, if you guys remember. Let's see. Okay. JCNAB, how old are the teens supposed to be on Ghost? It seems like all the siblings are the same age. They're not actually in their teens. The only teenager among them is actually Diana. The boys are older than that. They're in their 20s. Okay. Let's see. Deceiving Innocence, thank you. Thank you for creating the Power Universe. It's amazing. I appreciate that. Tony Montana, I've seen you on here before. Which is Monet more scared of, losing control over, her business or her kids? Well, here is the problem with Monet. Those two things are the same for her. And that is not great. And it's really not great. It's not a good thing. Okay, let's see. Jinjin to you, Zora and who are behind you? I love it standing on giants. Oh, okay. If you guys can see, that's James Baldwin. When I'm writing, I have James Baldwin and Zora Neale Hurston looking over me. Okay. Where is Uncle Gabe? There are two uncle questions back to back. No, we won't see him this season, but that doesn't mean we won't see him next season. Okay. Aspiring writer question. How do you develop the storylines for your characters? Oh, gosh. I don't know if I can answer that question quickly. I think the best way is to explain how it works is you start with a theme for the season and then you work there. So season 2's theme is sacrifice, and you're going to see as people sacrifice. So you kind of work that way through there. Unfortunately, and this isn't helpful, but this is really, if I'm going to answer that quickly, the most important thing is to let the character tell you what they're going to do. So what does that mean? What that means is Monet says to Kane in episode 204, okay, I want this off Zeke. Okay, I want this off Zeke. And then he says, well, what if it falls down on me? The fact that I murdered Ramirez and I'm involved in this other murder with Jabari. And she goes, the chips fall where they may, basically saying, fuck you, Kane. If you get hurt, you get hurt. Now, this is very important. Kane himself is never going to make the right choice after that, right? We know Kane's character and he's hurt. Here's the thing, he's hurt. His mother hurt his feelings. But because she hurt him and all he wants is her love, right? That's the way we constructed the character. He acts out. And what does he do? He puts the badge in Tariq's dorm room. And then when she confronts him about it in this episode, what does he say? He said, you let the chips fall where they may. The badge fell in his room. Kane is petty, right? Kane is small, Kane is hurt, and Kane told Tariq, I'm not going down for this shit. So basically, the character of Kane told us what his action would be, if that makes sense to you. So it's like who he is. Oh my God, hi, Peter. Oh my goodness, my cousin's fiance just joined. Hello, Peter. Good to see you. So, that's like, it's super fun. But that's kind of how it works. You let the character themselves teach you what they're going to do. For example, when Lorenzo showed up, could Monet have said to him, hey, so the man I was in love with when I was a girl, the one who I had Zeke with, like he's back in my life and I actually want to go start over with him and actually take our kids. Is that cool? Is Monet going to do that? No. Okay. So there we go. All right, cool. Some questions I'm not going to answer. Like, I know you really can't answer this, but what do I have to know? What's Tariq's next move? No, can't tell you that. Let's see. Some questions like, when are Tariq and Diana going to be together? I'm not going to answer that. Does Effie have an alternative motive? It's not an ulterior motive. It's just her motive. Let me get some of these live questions. When Davis was talking about the truth tying her hands to Saxe, is this why he needs Saxe to clear his brother? He needs Saxe to clear his brother for. We actually said it in the first couple episodes. He says to Tariq, he's joking, but not really. Sometimes you need a white guy. But what he really needs is somebody who knows the prosecutorial system from the inside, and he needs Saxe to do that. And he's going to use all of Saxe's connections, qualifications, and in some ways his whiteness. I think so much of power is about using people, but that's because you can get different power from different people. So I think that's a super important thing. Okay. Let's see. Cutie Naima, will you ever have a writing class? I want to. I love teaching. Let's see. Precious P33, is Mecca Spanish too? No, he's not. He's not. Let's see. Okay. Okay. Julia Shardy says, I want the Monet and Dante flashback story. When did she and Zeke meet Lorenzo? Yeah, we don't really do flashback stories, but I definitely would. Back in the day, like when web content first started, they used to let you do these things called webisodes, and it would have been so great to be able to do that. We really wanted to do webisodes. Here's some behind the scenes. We really wanted to do webisodes with 2-Bit and what was his name? Spanky? I can't, and I'm like really blanking on his name. But we wanted to do some episodes with Michael Ferguson and Omar, just them running around and doing crazy stuff. Okay. Let's see. Exponique says Ghost messed up Tariq's entire mentality. It started with him leaving them for Angie. That is true. Okay. All right. Why didn't Clark71, why didn't Kane tell Monet that Brayden was Tariq's weakness when she asked him point blank in 205? Because Brayden wasn't his weakness, actually. That's actually not true. His weakness was his sister. Okay. LOB Digital Media. Courtney hates Ghost. I certainly do not hate Ghost. I don't even know what you're talking about. How could you hate a creation of yours? I don't know what you mean. I love Ghost as a character. He was so flawed and so beautiful and, tried so hard. My God, he tried so hard. Let's see. Okay. Let's see. Uncle Caesar, will we ever see an older version of Rock? Kanan told Ghost when he got out of prison, he visited her. Oh yeah, well, it wouldn't happen within this show. No hate, Chris, when did you start writing? I guess I've been writing since I was a kid. My parents called it lying. I don't know why they called it lying. I was just telling them stories. But yeah, it's been a really, really, really long journey with writing. It's what I've always wanted to do. I never actually wanted to do anything else. Not really. I really enjoyed doing makeup when I was doing makeup, and I loved singing when I was singing. But this is really, sometimes you're born for the thing that you're born for. That doesn't mean it's all I'm going to do with my life, but this is, what I love. I love to make up stories. And frankly, I love talking to you guys. I love making something that people enjoy. I love representing the culture. I love putting people of color center stage, putting us right in the middle of the action as opposed to being on the outside. So yeah, there's a lot that I can do in this job. Okay, Valley Girl Forever 818. So local, unless that's August 18 and it's your birthday. But who is Effie's mentor? Who taught her the game? You're gonna learn more about Effie season 3. Shay for real. You ask good questions. I've seen some of yours before. Is Mecca willing to ruin his relationship with Monet in order to expose their love child? What relationship? She just told him it was over. How about that? So whatever. Ooh, is Mark Dark here? Shout out to Mark Dark. Love him. Let's see. Okay. What is the significance of Tariq burning Ghost's letter? Is he over his dad? Ooh, this is a great question. He's not over his dad, but what Effie said really landed with him because maybe this is just the beginning. And remember, Effie is really, she's kind of gotten in his head the way the person you're sleeping with can, kind of get in your head. So she really helps him kind of get past that. But if his father's image of him is what's controlling him, what isn't controlling him? Her image of him. Just want to say that she's kind of gotten into that spot where she can help him. She's helping him, but she's also able to kind of influence his thinking. All right. A1.trendy, why is Mecca giving scorned baby mama vibes? LOL. Again, I love you. Yeah, I mean, that's not wrong. That's wrong. Not wrong. Okay, let's see. Someone said Andre J. Ferguson is an amazing writer. Yes, I agree. Is Lorenzo Kane's father? Yes, he is. Will Lisa Marie make an appearance? I don't know. Actually, that's not done and dusted for sure, but it's up to me. I would say Elisa Marie needs to find her way to Chicago. Okay. Rhea, my fave. Do you think Carrie and Lauren are earning their death? I don't know. I mean, do people earn their deaths? Maybe they do. I don't know. I do think that Professor Milgram has made some toxic choices. Then again, people make toxic choices and live all the time. They know of Ori. Can we get a clue or hint for the next show? Okay, it's 5:39 now. When we get closer to the end of the show, I think I will definitely do that. Let me get through some of these questions. Let's see. Okay. You guys are fighting over whether or not Ghost is alive. Can't do that. Will I make a special appearance in any of the shows? No. Will we see more of Detective Kevin? That story's not over yet. Cutie Naima, it's Zeke's first year in college, so how can he be older than his siblings? Keep watching. Okay. Why won't Monet just leave with Mecca? It's an easy out. Well, she's got a whole family here. Let's see. Okay. You guys know I don't ever answer questions about casting. Because I have a lot of people asking me about how they can get cast on the show. I don't really do that. Let's see. Okay. Oh, All-Star Check 636. I want to know what's the timeline from Ghost dying to Power Book 2. Is it weeks, months, a year? Can I get that answer? It's weeks. It's weeks. To Ghost. Now that's to Ghost Power Book 2. Power Book 2 Ghost Season 1 is weeks. Okay. That's not now. We're later. We're in Season 2. So it's exactly. Kidderiggs 22. I want a Power Universe movie. Call Jeff Hirsch at Stars. I agree with you. There should be a Power Universe movie. Young Street 1. Will Tariq execute a plan with Brayden with trust to get Kane knocked off like Tommy and Ghost did? Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay, that was a little confusing. I can't answer that question because can't answer that. Okay. Sade Curry asks, in your opinion, do you think Reek told Effie too much? I think Tariq was instructed very clearly earlier in the episode by his lawyer who said, don't trust anyone. What did he say? Trust no one, right? Didn't he say trust no one? I feel like he said trust no one, so I don't know. Diamond Forever says Effie undercover. You mean like a undercover cop? God, that would be way too simple. Way too simple. Okay. Some of you are repeating your question. Let's see. Okay. Angie X Camarilla is forced taking place after Ghost's death. Both Ghost, the series, like Power Book 2 and Power Book 4 are after Ghost is deceased. Was there a deleted scene with Brayden's family? There are a bunch of deleted scenes in these episodes, you guys. There's so many deleted scenes, and I can't get the network to put them on the Stars app, which I would love because sometimes we shoot things and we can't show them to you, and they're really great. Let's see. So, hey, we didn't see Detective Whitman or Tate's brother in the last episode. What are they doing right now, and how do they feel about Tariq's case? Has Whitman changed his view, or is he still focused on Carrie? Great questions. And the reason that sometimes you don't see people, honestly, is because we just don't have enough time. There's just not enough page count. So, let's see. Talisa Bridges, have Mecca and Ghost ever crossed paths? Stay tuned. Let's see. A lot of you guys are asking about specific cast and whether they're coming back. I said other characters are coming back. I can't tell you who. Okay. Let's see. Are there any other questions that I should answer? Okay, so a lot of questions that I did answer. Okay. Tiara Monet 64, is Davis gaining loyalty for Tariq? Well, here's the thing. Davis is loyal to his brother and to himself. Does Tariq have money to pay him? That is really the question. Okay. I'm trying to see if there are any more questions. Molio.Marie, in your opinion, who do I think is the best girl for Tariq? Honestly, I actually do think Effie is the best girl for him, but that's going to take some doing on both of their parts. Again, just told Miss Mecca Cat, just tell us who's older once and for all, Zeke or Kane. As I said, Zeke is older. Okay. Rella talks, will Diana start to see maybe bringing Lorenzo home was not such a good idea? It's a good idea for her. She's not the one who has the problem. Although she did get choked out. Did you guys like when she got choked out? I'm just curious. I want to tell you guys a really quick story about this because we're, running out of town. The actual choking was Mary J. Blige's idea. Shout out to the queen. So the scene was written for them to have the fight, but actually, like the actual putting hands on Diana, that was Mary and I were on the phone and she was like, I would choke that bitch out. And I was like, okay, type. It was a great idea and it really worked. Okay. Oh, hey, someone asked, Manny O'Dreams, can we get more actual basketball scenes? No, Manny, because of COVID. So that's why, because the big group scenes, we had to write all of them out in season 2. So, I mean, sadly, COVID affects not just the actual like shooting of the show and delays. It affects what we do. Okay. Let's see if there are any more great questions. Okay. All right, I'm going to keep going because I want to answer questions from people that I haven't answered before. Okay. I'm going to start doing a shot when you guys ask about 2-bit also. If I do that and ghost ones, I'll get so drunk on these lives, man. Okay. Tazy Coolando. Will we get a backstory of Davis McLean becoming a lawyer because he's cut from the same cloth as Ghost and Nem? Wait till season 3. Season 3 has a lot of good stuff in it about backstories. We get deeper into the characters. Just structurally, we always had to kind of deal with the characters as they related to Tariq, because that's where you guys were entering the show. And as the show goes on, you can get more into other people's backstory. So when you guys are asking about Effie's backstory and things like that, absolutely. But it's going to take a little time to get there. Okay, let's see. Ooh, Rain Knight 2. Who was the woman driving the red car playing the old music and Monet thought it was Dante? Yeah, you're going to see more about that. That's definitely coming. Okay. All right. Nisa Gates. Someone asked, when will Tariq die? Don't get weird, bro. I love that. Talisa Bridges. No, not Talisa Bridges. Where is 31? That's funny. Why power shows always told during the winter time? We forever used to shoot during the winter. We were a winter show. That's sort of shifted this year a little bit. So people are wearing coats, but it's actually been warm outside. Some people are asking really good questions about cast. If you asked about certain returning cast, definitely coming back. Someone asked me to host a masterclass for aspiring Black writers. Why don't you hit me in the likes if you think that's a good idea? Because like that was something that does sound fun. So it does absolutely sound. How many seasons until Tariq's story is finished? Oh, wow. I mean, that's up to stars, I think. Okay, let's see. All right, I'm almost done, I think. Who are Effie's parents? Again, you're going to learn more about that in season 3. Okay, let's see. Do I have hopes for how many seasons Power Book 2 will last? Well, when I was writing it, I mean, the construction was supposed to be like 5 or 6 seasons. I kind of had a 6-season idea because I wanted Tariq to graduate from college and I wanted certain things to happen when he graduated Stansfield. I don't know if that's going to happen now because obviously I'm not there, but that was a version of it, I guess, if I'm telling you guys the truth. Okay, so a preview of next episode. The next episode is about making decisions for other people, and you're going to learn more about the fate of Yasmin St. Patrick. So that will be my answer. Okay, so I'm going to say goodbye to you guys for now. Anita's here. You guys just are so great. I just want to let you know how much I appreciate you, and thank you so much for coming, and I will see you next Tuesday, okay? All right, take care, y'all. Bye-bye.